that for the past 25 years I've been looking for a Muslim boy to do his PhD under me. Nearly 12 students have done the PhD under me. Not a single Muslim boy.
Which subject, sir?
Political science. I've been pleading with the boys, but even the girls, nobody's coming forward. That's one thing. The second important problem that I've been facing is that none of the students are prepared to discuss any issue putting into the community with me. I don't know whether they are scared or they are being asked to be silent. Let us say this is the state of affairs in the university level. As a university teacher, I would like to look at the whole issue. Since this seminar is about India in 100 years, India's independence after 100 years, where we'll be locating ourselves. I'm trying to understand my lecture, my paper in terms of three issues, three parts. First, let me take up three important issues that might afflict the higher education. Particularly, I'm talking about social structure. And in that particular social structure, I'm basically concentrating on two important issues, the caste and the reservation policy. My question is that will this caste and the reservation policy will exist after 100 years at the higher education level? Whether Muslims, to get the benefits of the politics, should construct a caste identity. We might have the reservations. I'm definite that everybody will have the reservations about my position. I'm the one who have been defending that we need to have a caste for the political reason. That one thing that I would like to talk about it. See, the second important issue is that the path of development that we are entering into, particularly market-linked development, will it sustain? Will it allow the community to operate? Will it make the community to a self-sustained, or will it empower the community and to become what is called a strong community in the years to come? That's the second important thing that I'm trying to understand. Third important thing is that what will be the kind of politics, the ideology of the state, because that decides about the education system in the years to come. Will it be the same democratic political ideology? Will it be a different form of ideology that will usher in? Will it provide the spaces for the Muslims to exist or to operate and to get the benefits of the community? That's the first structure, first part of my presentation. The second part would be trying to see the existing position of the community. Particularly, I'm trying to look at 3 or 4 issues. One is that what is the enrollment of the minority community or the Muslims in the higher education? What is the general enrollment ratio of the community? The second important is that what is the attendance ratio? It's not the general enrollment alone, but what is the attendance ratio of the community in the higher education? The third is that what is the position of what is the percentage of Muslims who are entering into the higher education. I mean, trying to look at there are 2 or 3 things that I will be speaking about. You need to understand the structure in which I am talking about. 3 important issues that I talked about. These particular issues, whether they are linked to that one. Third important thing is, what are the new things that are coming up in the higher education? Like for example, RUSA, Rashtriya's Unnati Shikshana Abhiyan, which is meant for the two plan years. Will it help the community? If that RUSA is completely winded up, what will happen to the community? That's one thing that we require to understand. The second important thing is that we need to understand some of the commission reports, like Sam Pitroda's commission report, which talked about establishing 1,500 universities. Will it help us? Will it help the community to establish large number of institutions in the years to come? If the institution, if the community has to be, has to grow, then obviously we need to take the advantage of the Sam Pitroda Commission report and other commission report. And given the fact that there are a large number of schemes that are being available, provided by the state, will it continue? If it is discontinued, what will happen to this community? Probably these are the things that we need to have in our mind while arguing about the higher education. Look, I talked about 3 important issues. And I'm not going to talk much because you know that I need to have larger debate. I know pretty well that there is some controversy would take place here, particularly when I said that caste has to be taken into account to construct for the political reasons. Look at higher education, 3 important issues. One important issue said that we need to understand the market that's getting in. The second about the the ideology of the politics. The first one is about the caste and the reservation issue. If you look at that particular aspect, contemporary politics basically concerned about social structure. If you look at the reports after the report, it talks about a particular social system that's operating within the higher education system. We can't deny that fact. Basically our reports, whether the higher education, new education policy report, or third commission report, or any report for that matter, would definitely give a picture, including Raghunath Mishra Commission report, Sacha Committee report, which gives an idea that caste did represent in the higher education level. How is it possible that caste has been playing this particular role? How is that the communities are growing? How these communities are moving forward in Indian context, given the fact that many of the communities have gone ahead, far ahead of the Muslim community, and the statistics literally say that Muslims are far behind. They are 110, 15 years, not 15, 50 years backward when compared to any other community in Indian context. I feel that caste is the most important component in Indian context. And one important issue that is being attached to the caste is the affirmative action of the state. Look at Karnataka and at all India level. Right from the Leslie Mitchell Commission report in 1920, we have got series of reservation policy in Karnataka. Even though we might say that the reservation policy has helped us to get into the higher education, but in fact, if you read Rahman Khan Committee report of 1995 and subsequently the Sacha Committee report, you would be disappointed. I do not want to tell about the kind of statistics that Rahman Khan Committee report talked about. which literally reflect what my experience said. My experience that there are hardly any PhD candidate coming from the minority community. And a reservation is based on the caste. You might say that this reservation might be dismantled in the years to come. One thing we need to keep in mind that a community is given, if a community is given a reservation, you have absolutely no right to, there is no history that the reservation has been taken back. Look at as I said earlier, Leslie Mitchell Commission report in Karnataka. That obviously means that you have this reservation policy based on the caste, but community is also been given. But if you look at 1920 up to the 1995, that means that community has not taken the benefit, nor the state has literally helped the community to grow. Even though we have got the reservation of 4.5% in Karnataka, and different states have got different slabs of the reservations. I think if I'm right, Tamil Nadu has got 3.7%, Kerala has got nearly 12%, West Bengal has given literally 10% out of the OBC quota. And the central government, after the Mandal Commission report, has introduced 4.5%, and Andhra Pradesh has given 4% of reservation. Incidentally, UP government has not given reservation to the minorities. See, one thing you need to understand, and there are two important things when we talk about the reservation. Reservation is not given to the religious-based communities. It is not religious-based. There are exceptions. Two communities are being given, Sikhs and the Buddhists. But when it comes to the question of the Muslims, that are being denied. But a reservation is given on the basis of the caste. That we need to understand. So caste is a social product. In that particular context, do we need to construct caste? Even though you might say that we are getting a reservation on the basis of the socio-economic criteria in Karnataka, because that has helped community to enter into the education level, but quite disappointing. Here in Karnataka, the reservation is given at two levels. One is a caste level, wherein it comes under the category 1, and the second one is the 2B category. It's an economic category. But I would definitely say that if you want to have the reservation at the national level, I would definitely suggest that we need to construct a political caste for the purpose of the politics, for the purpose of growing community. Otherwise, what happens is that you'll be left out of the reservation. Our public institutions are largely based on the reservation. If you enter into the public institutions, I'm not talking about the private I'm coming back later on. If you want to enter into the higher education, particularly the private, not the private, public institutions, universities, or the other institutions of higher learning, we need to adopt a reservation. You need to adopt this caste. I would definitely say that we need to construct our caste as a political strategy. We might have undergone this amnesia. I would call it as a serious amnesia that we have been witnessing, amnesia of our previous social status. But for the political reasons, for empowering the community, we need to construct. That's one argument that I would like to make it here. Whether that caste, the moment you construct a caste, somebody came to my home a couple of days back. He asked my son, since you belong to the Muslim, we believe that you don't have the caste system. You don't have the caste. He went away. My son said that, look, that enumerator has gone and he has not done an enumeration. I called him back. I asked him, what is the question? He said, do you have the caste? I said, yes. I have a caste. Write down, my caste is Asadi caste. I got a caste. Caste can be constructed in India. In fact, the enumerators have constructed the caste. That's one argument that I would like to make. But whether this caste will sustain for the next 20, 30 years, that's a question. Will the community will get the benefit? See, once, as I said earlier, once the reservation is given, once the caste is identified, state will not withdraw your reservation. If anybody wants to get into this public institution, probably we need to get the benefit of the reservation and the caste. And that's the reason why more number of caste for the political reasons, not for the social reasons, I'm sorry. Probably the number of Muslims getting into the higher education would be more. That's one thing. That one premise on which I'm trying to argue my case. The second argument that I would like to make is about the contemporary path of development that we are witnessing in. I would say that this contemporary path is witnessing two important competitive development, two important path of development in India. One path of development is centered around the market. Second important development is centering around the public system, public institutions, politics of the public. There is an attempt to marketize the public institutions. At the same time, this market has entered into every sphere of education, every sphere, including the higher education, including the university system. That's the reason why large number of private institutions are mushrooming in India, barring minority institutions, except two institutions that I've come across. One is Anuppur University and Aligarh University or Ahmedabad University, which are traditionally established long back. We do not have the newly established university after entering into the sphere of the market. Will this space, this market now opened up everybody to enter it? The question is that, will this market sustain itself for the next 30 years? Which will dominate, whether the public or the private management institution, private market? These are the two important questions. One side, the state is withdrawing. You need to understand the fact that one side, the state is completely withdrawing from the realm of higher education. But at the same time, one also sees the kind of ambiguity that the state, the political structure is also following, adopting. That's quite obvious when you look at the amount of money that is being pumped in under the rubric of what is called the RUSA, Rashtriya Uchitam Shiksha Abhiyan. Not less than 20,000 crores, not the 50,000 crores would be pumped into the public institutions. One side, the public institutions will get 50,000 crores, but that will terminate not immediately. That will terminate in the 13th plan period. It is meant for the 12th and the 13th plan period. And the public institutions will get, particularly the higher institutions, universities, colleges, they'll get around 25,000 crore rupees. Imagine, when you have this public institution being pumped with huge amount of money, they say that you need to go for the private-public partnership. You need to go for a new curriculum. You need to go for the research and development. You need to go for new faculty. You need to go for recruitment of the talented scholars, invite scholars from the abroad and other things. See, if this is the case, one side you have this public institution being pumped with a huge amount of money, and that will terminate in the 13th plan. where will be the community then? Where will we locate our Muslim community? Where are the numbers of the institutions which would take the benefit of the public institutions? Where huge money is pumped, you're supposed to get some amount of money. This is not meant only for the public institution which comes under 2B or some under certain clauses of the UGC. Even those institutions who are not getting the benefit, they'll also get the benefit. You'll have the wonderful institutions coming up, public institutions of higher learning, beginning with the colleges. And there will be a huge number of universities coming up. Each 100 colleges will be converted into a new university. And imagine, they are going to have more than 300 universities. Already we have got more than 300 universities, public universities. Adding up 600. But at the same time, you have got the argument of, Pitroda, who would say that we require not less than 1,500 universities in India. Imagine a community which is absolutely weak. If you look at the number of institutions that the Muslim communities have established in India, across India, in different parts of India, is absolutely low. Look at, if I'm right, Karnataka stands around 3rd or the 4th place in terms of the number of institutions. Even the states like, Uttar Pradesh or the West Bengal, which is known for